is up, everybody, and welcome into the DNVR Nuggets Lounge. The Hump Day Lounge, the Anniversary Lounge.
Oh. Are we having an anniversary? I always forget. Is it what anniversary is it?
You know what? It actually is close to the anniversary when you and I first met, because it was at the jersey reveal, which took place in the offseason around this time. In fact, I kind of anticipate a jersey reveal sometime in the next couple weeks.
I'm amazed that you remember that. I don't think of you at all.
That's the worst. You are the worst. We really do have a great show for you today, guys. I'm really excited about it. We are going to lead off the show talking about the anniversary of what was, in my opinion, and still is, one of the most important games in Denver Nuggets history. I really believe that. Arguably the most important game of this Denver Nuggets era. I think it might be. We could even debate that and talk about what other games might qualify. We're also going to talk about the awards. DraftKings Sportsbook came out with a bunch of awards, including their predictions for the NBA champion, and then all of the end of season awards, Coach of the Year, this or that. Some Nuggets are heavily featured in that. We're gonna go through all those. But of course, I've already introduced D-Line Co. You guys know him as D-Line.
What's up, guys? First long-time caller, first time on the show.
It has been a while.
Are the Nuggets still good, or what's up with them?
You have training camp energy for this today. I didn't know if it's like absence makes the heart grow fonder. Nope.
No. I don't know. What's up with the Nuggets? Are you gonna tell me?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about the Nuggets. By the way, I see everybody in the chat. Love to see you guys, man. Keep the chat popping today, Ray. Leader of the chat. You gotta keep
leader of the chat.
Leader of the chat is in here. Over here, I got Brendan Vogt.
You know, you could be caught up on what's up with the Nuggets if you had watched those episodes with me and Harrison Wynn last week.
You're right.
But judging by the bones of today's show, no one did.
Well, hold on.
Busy making you money, my friend.
Hold on. You didn't.
Was it me, though?
Those were just strictly pods. No one could watch those. You didn't record them.
That's a great counterpoint. That's a tremendous counterpoint.
That is true, actually. He did say watch them, didn't he?
I'll take the L. I'm here, though.
So we'll have some fun today. We want your guys' interaction. I want to hear all the things that you guys have to say about it. But we have to start first with, we did this last two days ago on Monday. We talked about the anniversary of a low point in Nuggets history. It was Game 4 of the Utah series. Actually, it wasn't the low point. We determined that Game 3 was the ultimate low point. Jokic gets blocked by Rudy Gobert at the end of a shot clock. Gobert screams and does his awkward You ever notice how Rudy Gobert's celebrations are robotic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the way he moves is like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love his like even for a big guy, he has like comically oversized feet.
It's so true.
And he's like always he's like clunking around in them. It's amazing.
Has huge nerd energy, but he's
such.
But he's also a gargoyle, so it's really hard to reconcile.
I know.
So we're at an ultimate low point. I remember reading I couldn't even read the timeline after Game 3. It was Jokic is exactly who I thought he was.
You could touch your phone, dude. I was like,
I couldn't barely touch it.
I became just like. I just disconnected from life. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Like it was such, and then we were like, oh, now Game 4 is going to be a funeral. We have to go in and do a whole other show. It was a real low. And Game 4, Denver played a lot better. They ended up making the change. Michael Porter's coming off the bench. They look like, okay, they're starting. They got a chance here, but when they didn't win that game, and I think Donovan Mitchell also just had a great one. You're like, man, this is just. They can't get over the hump this year. So it was a real low point going into Game 5. Let's pull up the highlights, Kel, so we can do this. I want to. The highlights are like 5 minutes long. I want to jog everybody's memory, and it's important to me to jog everybody's memory for a couple reasons. One, this happens to me where I remember seasons, I remember moments, but I don't always remember. It all blends together.
Sure.
I think it's important. Games 5, 6, and 7 all had their own personality, and I think it's cool to kind of go back and separate these. So down 3-1 inside this bubble, nothing's going right.
Down 16-6.
And I remember talking to Vogt before the game. I don't know if you remember this, Vogt, and we're like, Jokic needs to have his like LeBron Game 6 moment, against the Celtics, where maybe he could just come out and score 50. And so what happens to start this game? First of all, look at the score. Denver struggling out the gate.
Oh God.
Jokic gets 21 first quarter points. Do you remember this, Vogt?
I do. I remember it well.
And it was like just look at the like aggressive, looking for his shot. Clearly he was going to go to the 3-point line and try to draw Gobert out. He ends up going 5 for 5 from the 3-point line, 8 for 8 in the first quarter. And it was just all like quick trigger. Like, all right, I'm shooting. I'm open just a little bit of daylight. I'm shooting. And I just remember being like, I had hope. I had no hope in coming into this game. about this point, I'm like, you know what? Yoke has the eye of the Joker.
Well, it's not just Yoke racking up points, too. It's bend the game plan type of success. It was the first time in the whole series that him getting out to that line and having success there really changed the way Gobert approached his positioning on the floor, which, as we know and as we'll see, opened things up for Jamal in a big way.
It's just so aggressive and so confident and also just so badass, man. I mean, you look at this game. I was both encouraged and discouraged. I love that pass. I miss Torrey, man. You watch as we do these highlights. Watch Torrey on the bench and some of these. Like he really was,
dude. But when we had him, we were like, Mike Malone, we need to get rid of him. He's Michael Malone's safety.
Well, he was though. Like both things could be true. I look at this three.
And look, so it doesn't end up being that Game 6 first half, but the first quarter, this is all world stuff.
You needed it in order to be able to get to where we were going.
21 first quarter, and they drown in this game. By the way, they drown.
Look at this shot.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Look at this shot at the buzzer. This is how you knew it was like his night. This gives him 21 points and 5 for 5 threes.
Argues with the ref.
Yeah, with Scott Foster. He's like, and he was. By the way, I think he was right. I think when they showed the replay of this one, he was not wrong. Fast forward, so the Nuggets continually down 10 points in this game. Just
every time the bench comes in, right?
A little bit. The starters started out down 10, but then they catch up and the bench blows it immediately. You know this is going to be a heavy minutes night. In the second half, though, is where Jamal Murray honestly became Jamal Murray the next level. He leveled up in this game.
This is Max Murray.
He had the 50-piece in game no. He had a 40-piece in game 1. Overtime, he took over. He had Murray moments, but this was an entire half where all these buckets are him just reading exactly how Utah's playing him. And you see him screaming at the bench, like just willing. They're down 10 right here, guys.
And so he had 40 in the loss in game 4.
Right.
So I believe this makes him the first Nugget to go for back-to-back 40 pieces in the playoffs, this performance right here.
Oh, our old friend Jeremy Grant here. He's got the nice little drive. I can't believe Murray got the assist on that play. It's kind of funny because these are Murray's highlight package. And he had some iconic ones. First of all, Murray has the look at his eye here. Like,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Murray was like a will to win.
At this point, he's not passing the ball unless it's Yoke. And
iconic.
That's the one.
One of the best plays of his entire career. Look at Gobert. Freaking lame-ass Gobert verticality.
It would be the best if not for the up and under on LeBron, which is right there.
The corkscrew to open up the French bottle of wine.
It's honestly they're tied. I can't even pick one. Yoke, and then at the end, here's what I love. Fourth quarter now, it's winning time. Right out the gate. Because Jokic had, he scored 3 points between the first quarter and the fourth quarter. And then it was just the Murray-Jokic two-man game.
I love this because it's such a great highlight of their relationship. Jamal is in full no one should touch the ball but me mode, except Yoke.
Oh,
if
totally.
Yoke's open, he's finding him, and vice versa, and they know that about each other.
They also started going to Millsap setting screens in here because Gobert was
look at that Michael Porter Jr. scoring a basket.
There you go. He got involved too, the big three. But look at Torrey. I'm telling you, he's going nuts this entire time. And then, Murray's just like, wherever I go, I'm just... Ridiculous. And then look at him scream. And one! As he yells at Donovan Mitchell on the floor.
He's yelling this entire half.
Royce O'Neal, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell switched on to him like, I'm going to close out this series. And Murray's like, no, you're not.
No, you're
gonna
not.
Freaking
there's
smoke
$20 million a year player Jeremy Grant to check.
Yeah. Look at me. He had. And then look at this. You guys remember this play? Clock running out.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on, man. And look at the score. That was a tie to break a tie.
We were, dude.
And then this broken play that just perfectly goes to Murray. And look at this.
Little rattler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Team of Destiny.
It's his
Team of Destiny.
He knows it too.
And then this is just the icing on it. Up 5. You're in pretty good shape. Okay, Royce. Oh, that's Donovan Mitchell. You want to guard me one-on-one?
Oh,
Tim Conley, I believe, is in the front row there, and that's Jamal yelling at Tim Conley, he can't guard me. Can't guard me.
We're gonna win a title, guys. I forgot. Now I remembered.
You forgot how dope Jamal is.
Yes.
And then what better way to finish it? Jamal to Jokic.
What the?
Let's go to game 6.
Left.
And look at this bench, man. Look at Torrey Craig.
Oh my God! Who was more excited in that moment? Was it the Denver Nuggets or was it Eric Weedham?
Yeah, probably Eric Weedham. To be honest, man.
I just remember the reason I'm like, why I don't remember that. I think I was catatonic that entire game, and then skipped over every other human state and emotion and went just straight to blind elation. So I've got no memories.
There's a chance you were more excited about it than Mason Plumlee. It's on the
table. I would say chances are very good.
I just remember how drunk we all got that night afterwards, and it was awesome.
We needed that.
The vibes were absolutely immaculate. I see Ray Vaughn in the chat.
I don't even
here.
know if you could say the vibes. The vibes were like aggressively amazing.
Oh
like,
my God.
They were immaculate. There's like a softness to it. It's like this was like.
Thank God for this. There is
No,
hope.
but it was just like so angrily happy.
Yeah.
But this is why I wanted to do this, and we'll do this again for Game 6, which is probably my favorite game, of this era. But Game 5, to me, as you go back and rewatch it, you remember the details, like Jokic going absolutely nuclear in the first quarter, which was such a tone setter. The Nuggets needed that. They needed to believe that they could do it, and Jokic, I think, sensed that. When I was watching that game, I'm like, Jokic's giving them what they need. They're like, hey, I got this. As long as you guys are with me, I got this. And then Jamal's like, no, I got this too.
Yeah.
It's so true. This is the thing about having like a true leader on a squad, like whether they be vocal or just through action like Jokic, or just having somebody that just like his quiet confidence. Like when that game starts off and they're down by 10, I mean, all of us here, I remember just going to that dark place like, oh no, like we were just freshly off Game 3, again, the lowest moment of all of our lives. And like just the thought of that, like just seeing a hint of that come back, and it could have spiraled out of control if Jokic wasn't Jokic. Like,
and Murray wasn't Murray.
Yes,
This is equally the point is, so often when we analyze like how good is this Nuggets team, especially people on the outside, one of the things that you have to really watch this team to get is that those two in the clutch are just, they really are peanut butter and jelly, man. Like they are the best versions of themselves, and they are the best version of their collective selves. And when you see games like this and the way it unfolded, you're like, the defensive player of the year and a pretty good defense and a pretty good team, to be honest. We find out the next year they end up having the best record in the NBA, a pretty good team, and they had no answer for both of those guys. Not once, not twice, but 3 games in a row, but especially in the second half of this one.
I think, too, like that's where stardom is solidified, that stamp of approval.
oh, in the playoffs?
And, and when you're trying to parse out, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 stars, like just how good is Denver's young duo.
Right.
And then in those moments you go, well, how much better can they be than they are in those
You're like,
moments?
those are Michael Jordan numbers, and the guy that will be the MVP the following season, playing at the height of his powers also.
You reach back to watching, right, at the peak of their powers, the LeBrons, the KDs in their prime, and that's what it looked like, 20-point quarters when their teams needed it. And there's no question that at their peaks, Jokic and Jamal have done that.
And you watch Murray, honestly, like through this entire playoff round, really the entire playoffs, but from this entire round, and especially in games 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But during this comeback, he really was a different player. Like that version of Jamal Murray is a top 5 guard in the NBA. You got Steph Curry. You've got, Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
James Harden, if you count him. Luka, if you count him. I don't count those guys quite, but there's not that many players that reach the peak that Jamal Murray did in this moment. He's not that player in aggregate, overall. But when it matters most, he absolutely was that player for Denver.
That's me as a student. Didn't do any work until test time comes. Knocked it right out of the park. Got that passing grade, baby.
It's one of the things that bums me out most about the injury is, and who knows, maybe he's still on this trajectory, but what does Jamal look like going forward after seeing himself do that? You know, just not like it actually manifesting, happening before his eyes. Those little moments where he's looking back at Tim like, I'm that guy. There's just got to be a shift in what you know about yourself when you've gotten that done at the highest level. And so I was just so excited to see as much of him as possible in these next few years. But
yeah, I mean, we still will. It's encouraging, honestly, to see Jamal working out and doing some of those things. It's so early. I mean, we're in August. You still have October, November, December, January. There's 4 months to go before his earliest expected return. And so to already be working out and getting shots up, it's just encouraging. Not that it changes the timeline or anything, but it's just like it makes it a little bit more real. And not even just that, but having Jamal around in the capacity where maybe he can't, come training camp and maybe even come November, maybe he can't play 5-on-5. Almost certainly he can't. But can he go and do shooting competitions with Bones Highland so that he's around and he just feels a little bit more like the team? It's just encouraging, obviously, seeing those things. And to your point, D-Line, you look at the Nuggets getting swept by the Phoenix Suns, and I think it's easy for people to say Denver wasn't close to Phoenix. But then you watch a game like this, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like their knockout punch wasn't there.
Of course. I mean, it's hilarious. That's the thing about just the way that sports happen. It's like really easy to forget about players when they're not there. This is all, I mean, we're all guilty of this. Like when you go into a series and there's a player missing and like the other side is always crying about it. You're like, whatever. We're missing guys too, but like, my God. I mean, like, look at that. And that's not just Jamal during the season. That's Jamal during the playoffs. Like Jamal during the playoffs, we have learned is a different Jamal.
It's like Mike Tyson has to do a fight with one arm tied behind his back,
Right.
and it goes 2 rounds.
Right.
And then people are like, well, if he would have had 2 arms, it would have gone 4 rounds, but he still would have gotten 9. You're like, no, it doesn't make sense to degrade these Nuggets when they didn't have that was the Nuggets.
And Murray, too, I don't know if you guys have heard this basketball game of runs. Murray is the guy, when Jokic is that gassed and double teamed and they just can't get anything on the board. Time and time again, Murray's the guy who goes, all right, well, I'll pull this out of my ass. Here's 2 points. And to stop the bleeding moments, even when the offense isn't there.
Or to start the bleeding for the other team.
I was going to say, or just tip
there will be blood.
Yeah, so, look, it was a real cascade effect. I mean, Phoenix kicked their ass. You can't take anything away from them, but we don't have to lie to ourselves about how different that looks.
The most astonishing part of all of
what
that.
we just saw from B2 here?
No. The most astonishing part to me is that that was 1 year ago, one exact year ago.
B2 just says it's hilarious. Like, my God, Game 5 was a year ago. That was Check's note 2 playoffs ago.
Dude, what the hell? Like, I don't understand how somehow the bringing a virus into our world like stopped space and time.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense. Every time somebody says something happened, some point in the past, I'm like, what?
And we're like closer to the next season than we were this one that just wrapped up. We're still talking about a season that wrapped up 2 years ago being 1 year. It's really, really weird. I mentioned it was the most important game, arguably, of this era. Is there another game that you feel is maybe more important for this era of Denver Nuggets basketball?
I mean, Game 7. This is important because this showed resolve, and this was the turning point, right? Of this.
Well, where were the Nuggets? If they lose to the Jazz in 5 games, and that first one went to overtime and required Murray going nuclear, like if they lose that, I do feel like you look at the whole thing and say, what do we have?
Yes, of course, obviously, you're right. Like, that could have absolutely sent the team into a death spiral. Although they're still so young, I don't think that the front office would have looked at it.
Bradley Beal was available. Like, you look at that. If you lose to the Jazz that bad and you never get over the hump, do you look at it and say, hey, Murray's great, but he's no Bradley Beal?
I mean, yes, definitely. But I don't know that
probably
necessarily
not, but
gets it done either. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, yes, I agree. Like, this is the turning point. This is, for that reason, like, could not be the importance can't be overstated. But as far as like lasting memories and like what going from like this is like them throwing a counterpunch to then going into like Game 7 where they actually became the aggressor. They actually like made the other team wilt. Like that showed that this wasn't them just getting lucky and skating by. Like, they actually were the better team the entire time. They just needed to figure it out, and like that's why you have 7-game series. So yeah, it is. But it also, like, I would say this is the most important series.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I think the only other argument, and looks like Swipe just brought it up in the comments, but that's that Game 82 game.
Ooh, I like that one.
I have come around on that, though. I do wonder, it's so easy to craft a narrative around that, and the team did it, and we did it. I do wonder if it's like a little overstated.
I don't.
How
I don't
much
at
of a
all.
sliding doors moment it was.
I don't
You think
at all.
if they win that game, things go differently?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I just think it was one of those ones where they missed a check mark that they were on target for, that they were on pace for. Like, they should have made the playoff here. They didn't, and I do think it was a galvanizing, like, here we go, and it really propelled them. So, can it be overstated if, yes, you whittle it down to that was the only thing that happened or whatever, but sure. I just think it wasn't a very important piece of their development was missing out on one of their goals.
Sure.
And there was a lot of reasons they missed out on those goals. Like, there was things that happened throughout the course of that season, but to me, that was the final disappointment that got him over the hump, and absolutely was important.
Swipe also added, and I want to bring this up because I think it's a great angle, that it was one of those first, everyone can get on Jokic's back moments. Yep. He was that tier one guy in that game. That third quarter was, I mean, 5 people alive can do that. And so that was one of those first moments where he kind of goes from that local analytical darling to just, this guy might have it. This guy might be a star.
Damn it. I love the Nuggets. I forgot how much I love the goddamn Denver Nuggets.
So true. It's so true. Another game I would throw in the mix, game 2 against the San Antonio Spurs. First playoffs,
Yes.
Jamal Murray's fourth quarter, another Jamal Murray one. I think we're finding a trend here. But they lose. They go down 0-2 to the Spurs. They probably lose that first series.
Easily.
And I think, and if they go down 0-2, do you get swept? Do you lose in 5? Like,
No, they don't get swept, but 5.
You lose 2
on the
games at
table.
home. You don't
Yeah.
have confidence going into game 3, and then if you're down 0-3, like, do you have confidence going into game 4? I mean, who knows? But it is one of those ones where if the Nuggets make their first playoffs and lose to a lower seed, by the way, the Spurs weren't even good that
Bad
year.
team.
No, they were
Bad
not
team.
a good
Yeah.
team.
And if you lose to the Spurs, I do
You
feel
get
like
cooked by Derek White. Like Jamal was getting clowned. Like that's another
one where maybe he
Yes.
gets traded, or maybe he just doesn't
Yes.
even get maxed or whatever.
Oh,
Gary
because it
Harris
was like-
bailed his ass out
Totally.
until he bailed himself
Right.
out.
Right,
So-
because that series looked like it was going to come down to that specific matchup.
Yeah.
Derek White on Jamal Murray. We were like, oh no, like this dude can't guard.
So that one to me was supremely important. So was game 4. I remember that one there because they go down now 2-1 and then they tie it up. So they had some doozies in that series that were also sliding doors moments. I don't know if anything else would qualify. Like,
well, if you want to talk about important just had a lot of gravity as to the direction the Denver Nuggets would then take. If you want to talk about the end of the 57 game or win season.
oh, so we're going back to other eras now.
Well, yeah, other eras. Oh, I'm sorry, but just as long as we're just talking about
Yeah, sure.
crazy, just them losing to the Golden State Warriors, which gave rise to the
Right.
Golden State Warriors.
Totally.
Ended up with George Karl being fired.
Right.
That team, which was an absolute juggernaut during the season, was completely dissolved. We lose
Yeah.
Danilo Gallinari. Anyway, like that to me, like that game 4 where they almost pulled it off. It went, I think, double overtime. Iguodala was playing his ass off, even though he was also informing to the other team at the same time. A lot of duality in that, man. I appreciate it. That was another thing where, that game gave rise to this era.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeff Morton.
One last one. I don't think it's most important, but for all the Nuggets lifers in the chats in here with me, Game 7 of the Clippers series, is that the most rewarding moment?
Oh, man,
as a
that
Nuggets
was so
fan?
rewarding.
Oh, dude.
Clowning them was fun. Like, narrowly beating the Jazz, super fun. Clowning the Clippers in Game 7 was I think
immaculate.
maybe more fun, to be honest. Like,
Dude.
less pressured. You're just laughing.
You
and,
just mentioning it, I just got a rush of endorsements.
Well,
I just feel great. Oh, I
great
love
news,
it.
guys. Those all of these are coming up.
We get to
So,
relive
the
them.
next couple
We
weeks.
just go every other
We'll
day.
keep doing this one.
It's gonna be crazy when for 5 months there's some thing that happened 1 year ago that we can't believe.
The only other game I'll pitch, and then I'll throw it over to you, Vogt. But the only other one, December 15th, against Portland.
Oh, of
Jokic
course, yeah.
comes out and
Yeah.
balls the hell out as his first restart. Got the starting job again, and it was this is the Nugget. You just knew you knew before that, but you knew when it happened that sometimes you give the keys okay, Nurk, you're going here, Yoke, you're going to start. You're like, well, I hope he doesn't lay an egg, or I hope the team doesn't look clunky. No, they look like you're that's the Nuggets. That's who we are for the next hopefully 15 years. And so that one was important
Then a
too.
week later, I hopped on Zillow. Said, "What's good with Denver?"
Let's go.
My favorite pass, I think, of all time with Yoke, the one-handed slinger from the
Can
Yoker,
you rent on
where he
Zillow?
throws the little curved pass. It was incredible. All right, Vogt, it's all yours.
I've never been on Zillow in my life, but I did. That part of that was true. Hey,
Caught him in a lie.
Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Guess what? In many ways, their Mile High City Copper Lager. At least I'm dubbing it this. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. Official beer of Denver Nuggets fans.
let's
It's
go.
got that sweet Nuggets branding, that sleek blue, that nice dope logo on the side. You can't miss it. But if you don't know where to find it, how about the Breck Beer Locator, fellas? It's a sweet little tool. You tell it where you live.
So
It
sweet.
tells you where the nearest beer is. Sign me up. There's other ways to get beer. You could come to the DNVR Bar in Colfax.
Yeah.
We're always
There's lots
stocked.
of ways to get beer if you think about it.
If you think about it, you could order it from the Drizzly app. They'll deliver it to your door. That's
Another way to
pretty
get
rad. Or if you're looking to get out, just run a nice little errand. King Supers, Costco, other grocery stores that I can't think of. You can grab it there. Or just order delicious food and booze from the farmhouse if you're able. Call 303-803-1380 from 12 to 8 p.m. for pickup. Use code DNVR to save $5. Eric,
go.
I haven't seen you in a while. When's the last time you manscaped?
Oh, you tell me.
I don't want to. First of all, I don't know. All right. Well, you know what I do know?
Just do you get? What's the sense? Looking at just.
It's been a minute.
Do I seem scaped to you?
I don't know when it was, but I do know that you didn't cut yourself because you used the Lawnmower 4.0, which features some cutting-edge ceramic blades and advanced skin-safe technology. Really, really, really hard to hurt yourself. The Lawnmower 4.0, it's got a 7,000 RPM motor. The new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock. It's even waterproof, boys. So if you're a shower groomer, get after it. If you like to groom in the dark, also got a 4000K LED spotlight. So make sure you check out Manscaped and use code DNVR at manscaped.com. You get 20% off plus free shipping. Don't miss out on that deal.
A lot of people wondering, they're not vocalizing it, but they're wondering if you have manscaped those ankles or if those are just naturally so sleek and boy-like.
Au natural. Thanks for asking, though.
Nobody ever comments my ankles.
No,
I
you-
show ankle all the time.
Yeah,
You show leg.
Show all leg. I show a little
the-
crotch, a little groin.
That's the thing, Adam. You've shown too much.
Does it look at the camera?
There's
angle.
nothing left to the imagination.
Does it look like I am no less than 3 times your guys' size?
When in reality, you're merely two
Times our size. Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's so funny that people. Just met some people the other day, like that follow or whatever. It's like, man, I thought you were like 5'6". I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, I've been with Adam many times, and they're like, "Man, you're tall," and I'm like, and I just like draft off of that, like I just pretend they're talking to me.
Wow, Vogt. I didn't realize you'd be so small.
So you get the same thing.
why
with the
not?
other
First of
way.
all.
Everyone, when people meet me, they go, "Yep."
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Wow, you look like are you going through a divorce?
Already prepping for one.
Prepping for one. All right, guys. So DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, has come out with their odds for all of the end-of-season awards. And lo and behold, there is a Denver Nuggets player who comes in with the number 1 odds for an award.
What?
The number 1, and that's the Most Improved Player award. Let's bring that one up, Kale. Look at these beautiful graphics.
Let me guess. It's Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. is our eyes. I call him MPJ.
Look at
nickname
how-
only I have.
I know this
for
is
him.
like a.
inside nickname.
Well, I like that you went nicknames only on this bad
Yeah.
boy.
Well, you had
Collins, JJJ.
Well, you had to like fit these into like a space, you know.
That's
I don't know if you've
Kevin-
ever done graphics before, but you have to.
Kevin
I
Peanut
don't know,
Butter
I
and
don't-
Jelly. Oh, Porter
right.
Jr.
So all right. So MPJ with the best odds. Now here's the thing about it.
What if MPJ loses to KPJ?
I wondered that very thing.
I
That's how
don't
I
want-
get
I don't
Kevin
want
PJ.
that.
Nobody calls him that, but if I put KPJ, would you have known? I don't know.
I still don't even know who it is.
Okay. So you got Shea, Zion. How is Zion going to win Most Improved Players unless he's the MVP?
It's his 3rd year on the floor, dude. Like if and he's not going to win MVP. So if he's averaging like 25, 26 points per game, I think our voters going to try to find a way to show him some love.
Yeah, it's weird. Like same with Zach LaVine. Like LaVine is a pretty established player, so could he be better? Yes, but
I know.
it's rare that a player that is already a fringe all-star and then becomes an
The
all-star
one I'm having a
is
hard
like
time with
MIP.
is Zach Collins. I'm just kidding.
John Collins.
I feel similarly about SGA as well. I mean, he's already had 4 years under his belt, and in his 4th year, he had a tremendous season. And so is he going to have like some bigger leap? Is his team going to be even better?
Well, here's one of the questions: is who is better in most people's eyes, not in your eyes, but in most people's eyes right now, Michael Porter Jr. or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Shea.
So that's the thing is like, okay, but they're at least pretty close. So I all of these are kind of players who have already made the leap. That's the thing is they're already like a half leap there, and that's why it's kind of an interesting list. That being said, what is the path? Michael Porter has the best odds. I'll start with you here, Eric. What is the best path for him winning the Most Improved Player award?
Let's see. So, I'm trying to remember. My seasons are all mixed up because of the space-time continuum being bent and confused. So, was he consistent all of last season? Did he have ebbs and flows? Was he fighting for his minutes?
So
last
here's
season?
what happened last season: is to start, he looked terrible for 4
That's right,
games.
that's right.
And then got COVID protocols and had to miss a bunch of time.
Right.
Then when he came back, it was clearly that the Nuggets had kind of gelled while he was gone. And so when he came back, it was a slow burn. But mid-season, he was starting to really hit a stride. And when Murray went down, it was like hyper consistent.
Right. So that's the answer. He just needs to play the whole season like he played his most impressive stretches, where we saw him with the most efficient scoring in the third most in the history of the NBA. Like stats that literally don't even make sense when you repeat them out loud. He's obviously got everything he needs. He needs to be able to. Obviously not be a defensive liability so he can stay on the floor. As long as he's able to play and stay on the floor. But remember,
he wasn't a defensive liability so much in the regular season.
He really wasn't.
Because teams aren't really changing what they do to attack you.
I just think that Malone has that in his head a little bit. It's sort of like he just needs to just have consistent playing time where he's given the ball and trusted. People don't think he's going to drop the ball if it enters his tiny little hands.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about statistically, Vogt. He averaged 19 points per game last year. It's not like he averaged 13.
Sure.
He averaged 19, and here's his shooting splits: 44.5% from the 3-point line. Overall, 54%. Those are incredible efficiency numbers. So, statistically speaking, what does he have to do to get this?
24 points per game. Does he get it up to that? 23, 24?
24 get him in most improved. 24 is a great leap.
Look, here, I think so, because, again, like, looking at SGA, he's already at, like, 24, 5, and 5. I mean, is he going to blossom into James Harden? How improved can he get? Whereas Porter, I still think, both statistically and just from a narrative standpoint, he's talked about as this incomplete blue chip talent. Well, if he looks any more complete, people are just going to start telling themselves he's that most improved.
Of course. That's the thing, is that you just have to chip away at the arguments against you. And the arguments against him are like all defensive and hands based at the moment.
I think if he's averaging 24 points per game, people are making money if they place that bet.
So here's players who scored 24 a game last year. Julius Randle, who won it, by the way, right? Wasn't he the winner of this last one?
That's correct, yeah.
So Colin Sexton, Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram, those are the 24-point per game scorers. De'Aaron Fox at 25, Trae Young at 25, Devin Booker at 25.5. I think the number's 25. I know that we're splitting hairs here at 1 point.
Sure.
But 25 gets you. Jokic averaged 26 last year. To be top 10 in scoring last year was 26.5, Jason Tatum. I think 25, 26, if you're a near top 10 scorer, and you went from 19, which was great, but you go all the way up to a near top 10 scorer, then I think you have a case with being at 19 points per game. I think you have a better case. Could he get there with 24? Maybe. It's weird, man. Most improved is weird. A lot of this is psychologically. It's really about who improved the most in my mind.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, is that it's not like who is the best. It's who had the largest gap between what they did last year and this year.
Nope, it's not even that. It's who had the largest gap between what I remember them doing last year.
That's why I like Porter, though, man. People are going to remember him getting punked in the playoffs.
Right.
More so than what Eric's talking about, which was this ludicrous regular season. And he's going to have a better one this year. So I think there's a good reason he's the favorite.
Can he make it without being an all-star?
No.
He'll have to be an all-star to be most improved.
Randall was an all-star, was he not?
Yeah, it's the East, yeah. But
I think you have to. I think, again, because this is a pure judgment award.
Right.
That's something that weighs in, like, he went from, virtual obscurity as far as the larger NBA landscape is concerned, became an all-star this year. Improved on score. I mean, you have to be the most improved of anybody, and like to make your case like that, I think that has to be a feather in the cap.
So you've got Luka, you've got LeBron. Like those guys are making the All-Star game. Spoiler alert, that's going to happen.
Paul George is in.
Who is?
Paul George.
Paul George is almost a lock. So
Totally.
there's already a handful of guys that you look at and go like, man, it's gonna be tough to even break through these guys, but. If he averages 25 points a game, I don't even know if this should be a goal of his. Like the Nuggets have a system, they have a lot of good players, but if he does get up to that 25 and he maintains some semblance of this efficiency, it doesn't have to be 44.5% from three, but if he's taking 8 a game and he's making 40% of them, 41, 42, and they're more self-created shots, then I think he's got a chance. He's not my pick, though. Do you guys like that? I'm saying, like, do you look at that pick?
Do I like that that's not your pick? No, I don't like that at all.
No, I'm saying, do you like him as a pick? Like,
I do.
At plus 600.
I do. I actually really like that. I will be legally placing units on that. All
right, I'm going to look at – I'm going to do here some player futures because I'm going to look at this award. All also, I think the guy I like the most for most improved, because I'm going off of like guys that actually have a large leap to make. Darius Garland to me is an interesting one. Like, who knows? Maybe there's a trade. Sexton gets moved or something, and he becomes even more. Actually, what's Sexton moved? I can't remember.
Sexton is plus 1,200.
Yeah, he's on there, and he can score a lot. Sexton's a good player, but I don't know. Darius Garland's the one in my mind that can make a leap. I see Halliburton on here. I don't see that happening.
You know who I might sprinkle.
RJ Barrett, I could see. Who?
I like Ja Morant.
You see, but Ja's already dope.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, but there's dope. There's underground. He's underground dope. Like he could blow up and go mainstream.
I think I would go with Jaren Jackson Jr. before I would go with Ja.
You know who also could potentially has a case you could make because of how far down he has gone? Is Ben Simmons.
there's no way.
It's possible. If Ben Simmons goes, Ben Simmons
had the disappointing playoffs, but he had a great regular season.
I just mean like the world is so low on him. If he comes out and like looks like a number one pick again, again, it's just like what do people value?
I like the guys honestly at the bottom of this list, like Miles
Anthony
Bridges.
Edwards.
Miles Bridges is 10,000 plus 10,000. I could see him really having a great one.
I think I might.
Gary Trent Jr. is an interesting one. Like, Toronto might need him to be awesome, and he might put up numbers.
Dude, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is a second-year player. You have to really.
Second-year guys don't typically.
I don't know, man.
They do win it though sometimes. All right, let's move on. What's the next one? Okay, I'll let you decide. Dealer's choice here. Which graphic do you want to hit us with? Rookie of the year: Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs. You got these are your options here. I think this one is almost certainly Cade. Like, Cade is going to put up massive numbers. He's very needed. He puts up every stat. He's going to have a lot of first since Luka, first since LeBron.
I hate what's happened to poor Jonathan Kuminga. I can't even look at his last name and not start.
The cum bucket?
How about come and go?
All right, his nickname, his self-appointed nickname.
Like, first off,
I'm just honoring himself.
Not self-appointed.
Wikipedia point.
But widely accepted.
Okay, so it's not going to get past the first two guys, right? Let's put it there. Like, at bare minimum, it's Cade or Green, right? I mean, almost certainly it doesn't get beyond those
Mobley.
two.
I like Mobley as a sneaker. I do think it's Cade by a long shot. I love the odds for Cade at plus 250.
We saw Şengün looked good. Like, everyone was very excited by him.
But you have to think about opportunity here.
That's
and all
true.
those other guys, except for Green and Cade, their opportunities are fit in, and over time you'll go. Like, Cade from game one is going to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, okay, but that's why I like Green.
Okay.
I think it's going to be – Houston's going to be a little more like – get those shots off, young man. I mean, Cade's in Detroit where they're still going to be navigating. Like, Jeremy Grant was a most improved candidate, number one on-ball option last year. In my opinion, you just give the ball to Cade, but they still have roles to figure out. Whereas I think in Houston, Green's going to get plenty of opportunity to just get shots up.
It's so true. And I'll say what everybody's thinking. That was a nice whistle. I'll say what everybody's thinking. We're all a little uncomfortable about the idea that every time we see Jalen Green, his hair is different.
Oh my God, we're so uncomfortable
about
with
this. Sometimes it's in braids, sometimes it's in a ponytail. I know we're all a little bit nervous about it, but I'm here to tell you, it's a valid concern. Don't bet on him.
So, Bones Highland plus 8,000, one of the worst odds of everybody that's on the book, but plus 8,000. All right, the odds aren't great. It's not worth taking because it's a long shot, but let's go into the 1 in a million chance that he wins it. What things have to break for Bones Highland to be the Rookie of the Year vote?
Monte Morris's tibula.
Wow. Okay, that was one way to put that. Yes, I agree. One thing that has to happen is opportunity.
Is it?
There's a tibia and a fibula.
And a fibula.
Yeah.
I just
combined them into one bone.
Bones.
What are we doing here? We're going in circles. So Bones Highland, I agree. There has to be an injury to one of the starting guards because that opens up like, okay, now we have to get creative. So it'd have to be either Barton or Monte or maybe both because that's how he gets opportunity early. And then with that opportunity, what has to happen for him to win? Rookie of the Year.
Well, he just, I mean, he took our collective breath away and made to be fair, we were offering our breath pretty heavily.
We were offering
Take our breath.
Yeah.
But he did. He is a very exciting player. Like, if he can if he can like show a little bit of what he showed, like if he can show all of what he showed in Summer League and then some, which and he's got the playing time.
Has anybody convinced you that he's not Damian
No,
Lillard?
no, I'm
Nobody
waiting.
has.
I'm waiting. The challenge stands.
You know-
I need
do you
one
know-
person, including Bones Highland.
Do you know who won Rookie of the Year award? Damian Lillard.
What?
Has anybody convinced
Has
you? I'm just
anyone
saying.
convinced me? No, that we've not drafted Damian Lillard. No, I've not been convinced. Bones Highland has not made.
So
a
it
case for
takes like some very unsavory like hypotheticals for this to happen, but he gets opportunity. But you know what? Anything is possible.
nothing
That's
less.
not.
Nothing less. Nothing less savory than a made-up bone that gets broken.
All right, let's make a less of a bone break. Let's say it's a
It's like a
severe,
Venn diagram.
a double severe
different
ankle
bones.
twist. You know, Barton and Monte both twist their ankles, and it's like, well, we're screwed.
Yeah.
But only for 3 weeks. We're only screwed for 3 weeks.
Can I tell you
Lo and
what's going
behold,
to happen?
Bones starts from game one, and the Nuggets go undefeated, and it's like, you know what? He's just in the rotation. He leapfrogs somebody.
Some, I imagine maybe a core injury is probably actually what we're talking about. The dreaded core injury that the
Yeah,
Nuggets
core
suffer every
injury,
year.
so true.
That's the path. I don't want to see it, but I do love Bones Highland.
All right, let's hit a break. On the other side, we got a lot more rapid fire edition that we'll hit immediately after these notes from. Is it Breck?
No. I know you're enjoying listening to us yuck it up.
Emphasis on yuck.
Break down the bones of the body, all of that stuff. But we gotta
Bones
talk
of the
about
body.
the real comedians.
Breaking down the bones.
And we're excited to introduce you to Kurt Braunohler, seen on Bob's Burgers, Black Monday on Showtime, the Oscar-winning The Big Sick, good film, go check it out. So you can imagine he is one hilarious dude. Kurt Braunohler is recording his new comedy special on August 29th at the Gothic Theater.
Ooh.
2 shows, 6:30 and 9 p.m. So yeah, this is a funny dude, as evidenced by the fact that he once hired a skywriter to write "How do I land in the sky?" Not gonna lie, that does it for me. That is funny.
That absolutely slaps.
So check out Kurt this Sunday. I'll be there, by the way, August
I'm definitely
29th.
going.
Head to gothictheater.com/events, and the show is under calendar. Buy your tickets now. Once again, that's gothictheater.com/events. Head to the calendar page. You'll see Kurt Braunohler on there. Grab your tickets.
Yeah.
And I'll see you there on Sunday.
Yeah, dude, come and be in a room with me where I'm laughing the whole time and it's actually appropriate.
That's right. That's right.
We're not talking about basketball.
Well, listen, I know you guys took advantage of that college football bet. You placed one bet and you made $200 in free bets.
Does it even count as a bet?
No, it doesn't.
That's
But guess
just
what?
buying $200 for $1.
If you did miss out, the NFL is back, and so is your opportunity to steal money from our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. All you have to do is bet $1 on any NFL game during Week 1. You receive $200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. Okay, you heard that right. DraftKings is giving you $200 in free bets. So head to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Check out all the great promotions and daily odds. Plus, I don't know if you've heard, you can now make every game a big game with same game parlays. It's
SGPs.
on, baby. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Let's go.
Now, fellas, you know I get a little anxious. I get wound up tight sometimes.
I would say all the time.
All the time. But I'm also bad at time management and sleep management, so I need a lot of coffee.
Got a lot of problems.
This is a recipe for disaster. Just a nightmare in the making. But thankfully, my friends at Strava Craft Coffee, they offer all of you 25% off your first purchase of that CBD infused coffee when you use code DNVR25. Again, that is 25% off your first purchase, but the real ones know, the veterans know. When you use that code and you sign up for their subscription service, you're going to get 20% off that coffee every single time, and you choose when that comes, every 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks. It's up to you unless you're in 2 odd weeks. It can only be on even weeks. So check out Strava Craft Coffee. It'll leave you honking.
Like a goose.
Like a goose.
good. Is that in the copy? Or?
No, I put it in there.
Can I tell you, speaking of coffee, I was at the grocery store yesterday.
Sure,
Do you know
sure.
what I saw for the first time?
Coffee?
Well, no. I saw pumpkin spice creamer in the aisle, packed with a whole display of pumpkin spice creamer. And I was
Adam
like,
goes
it's
to the
that time.
goes to the grocery store once, immediately becomes a basic bitch.
It is me. But actually, you want to hear what true monster I am. I didn't buy pumpkin spice because I don't like pumpkin spice, but I did buy peppermint.
Ew.
peppermint. It had a little Christmas cookie on the front with a little thing. I'm already in the mood, guys.
Seasonal,
it's already ready for the
Adam's
season.
a big seasonal drink guy. We had a whole conversation about eggnog the other day.
Well, I don't want to say I'm standing for eggnog over here.
No,
I just understand its place in the universe.
You're just a big seasonal drink guy. Every day is the same day to me. I wake up, I get an iced coffee regardless of temperature outside, because who wants to drink coffee hot? What a nightmare.
You really? What? This is a
know.
weird thing. I'm the monster,
take.
huh? Yeah, I'm the one
I'm
with the
on
bad
Adam's
take.
side
Yeah,
now.
thank you.
How's that feel?
Slugging eggnog in June.
Slang. All right, we got to go rapid fire here, guys. Let's get to sixth man of the year. We'll go really quick here because this one's not too interesting. So Clarkson, Herter, Ingles, whatever. But look at this. The only nugget in the entire list, Jeff Green.
Yeah.
By all accounts, the most likely nugget to win the sixth man of the year award. How crazy is this?
Not crazy to me. Run through the bench. Who's the go-to scorer?
Oh, you could imagine him being the LeBron of the bench,
I'm
just like
saying,
the KD.
Someone's got to finish the plays.
Would this be the weirdest development of the season if Jeff Green won the sixth man of the year?
Yeah, he's not going to get six.
Hey, there was that survey of 10 people. I don't know if you saw this. It was a survey of just 10 scouts from Summer League, and they talked about best acquisition, worst acquisition. Somebody voted the worst move of the season was the Nets losing Jeff Green. They didn't give Nuggets credit for getting him,
at a cheaper price point.
Yeah, but they were like, that was one of the worst moves. So, guys, Jeff Green, well liked by NBA scouts.
I can't believe I'm so hyped on Jeff Green.
I know.
He's on a different team every year.
Defensive player of the year. You could just pull this up just because I made the graphic, so we might as well, Cal. Even though there's nothing really to talk about. How boring is this?
I'm sure he's
Gobert. Simmons winning it would be pretty funny. I mean, he's not going to win it with Philadelphia. I don't think he's going to try at all. He's going to pull a Harden in the.
Gotta be on a team first.
He's going to be just like pulling a James Harden on defense. It'd be hilarious. Anthony Davis, Miles Turner, Embiid, whatever. Let's go to the scoring leader. The scoring leader. Look at this one. Bradley Beal, Luka. We'll scroll all the way down. I don't know how Durant is plus 3,000. How is Durant not expected to score a ton of points?
Played.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But look at this. Jokic, MPJ, same odds at plus 10,000. Not great odds, but also not going to happen.
Yeah. I'm wow. What a weird that's
would you
so bizarre.
group them together? Would you give them the same odds?
Kind of, because honestly, Miroslav, I know he's given us the golden rule. We always think someone else is going to lead in scoring, but it's always Jokic. This year, I really mean it. MPJ, that if you want to talk about most improved award, lead the league in scoring, which he's capable of.
Wouldn't
probably
hurt.
not going to get there. I think MPJ's window for being the scoring leader is probably like 2 years away, but it is a thing he could do. Rebound leader, really quickly here, Kale. This is one's kind of boring too, Capella Gobert, but you do have Jokic on there at plus 2,500. I don't see Jokic is always going to average 10 or 11 boards, right? I don't know that he's ever going to be like 14 boards per game.
Yeah,
Unless Denver just can't make anything.
I agree. He's an elite rebounder, but he's just not. Some guy's entire job is to like get to 20 rebounds tonight, Clint, you know?
Oh, I love this next one. Assists per game. His odds are actually better to lead the league in assists than they are. So the world in which this happens, he might do this not next year but the year after, because when you get Jamal Murray back and you have a Michael Porter that's even further along, and then you still have a Will Barton, maybe Aaron Gordon's more comfortable, then I could see him averaging like 20 points per game and 12 assists, but not this year.
Where did he finish last year in assists? Was he top 5? Or
He
top
was like,
10?
remember he was like top 3 for the longest, but I don't know if he finished there.
either.
I do think it was top 5 or so. Top 6 somewhere in there. Let's go to Coach of the Year. We got a couple more here. Coach of the Year.
Is Jokic on this one?
He's not on this one, but Michael Malone is right behind Vogel, Nash, Spoelstra. Billy Donovan on this list is really
these are good odds. There is if Denver messes around and gets a 4 or 3 seed and Jamal is not back till end of March, you better believe Malone will have his name will be in that conversation at the very least.
Why would anyone vote for Steve Nash? He's the favorite. Are they really thinking that like the coaching acumen of Steve Nash is what's bringing the Brooklyn Nets together?
That's true.
He's like, oh, hey guys, can you just go score a bunch of points and just be the 3 unbelievably unfair superstars that we cobbled together in a petri dish to make the league broken? Coach of the Year, I did it, guys.
I also
they
really
missed
like
so much time last year in the 2 seed. Yeah,
I think Steve Kerr at plus 1,100 is intriguing here. You could just there's like gonna be in theory a big leap for Golden State.
But is Kerr like?
kind of over that hump.
Yeah, to where he just can't win it anymore unless something really crazy happens.
Well, then, but the only thing is, then like you look at Quinn Snyder and Monty Williams. It's like, are they going to have better cases than they did last year?
No, I think Monty Williams could possibly be in line for a makeup call.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if Phoenix is like a 1 seed this year, they run it back and are just as good. Monty Williams is great value here.
Monty Williams deserved it.
Another great value here is Vogel, and only because there is that LA marketing machine that is just a juggernaut. And whenever they are like a top 5 offense, people are going to be like, look what he did with Westbrook and no spacing and this and that. All he had was 3 superstars on supermax contracts.
These kind of conversations in the offseason like really get me so quickly to a place where I'm like, I can't believe how much I hate the NBA.
No, Ramona Shelburne. Think about Game 5.
Shelburne is going to 100% write like a giant think piece or go on the jump and just talk about like...
More like a stink piece, am I right, guys?
Nobody thought Frank Vogel could lead this team to a 1 seed, but look, here they are. And you're like, what? Yes, what? What?
He took a on the back 9, LeBron James, and a superstar no one ever believed in, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, she
brought it together.
Like crediting the Lakers with overcoming something that clearly does
Russell
not,
Westbrook, who's been maligned and
the LA housing crisis was really stressful this year. It was a real topic of conversation that all the Lakers were.
Oh, I hate this.
Were in that conversation.
But hashtag Washed King had something else in mind.
Yeah, Washed King. Everybody thought he was washed. God, we just hate the Lakers with like. So much. All right, the last one, guys. The last one.
This has been
the NBA champion.
We haven't done MVP either.
The MVP is the second to last one. Let's go to the MVP. Forgot the MVP. MVP. Let's go MVP.
Dude, Zach Stevens, our Broncos guy, just
look at this.
in like
with a Nugget shirt, no less. Look at this. What
great.
A homie, man.
Do we have quarterback news? That looked like a quarterback.
Right now.
It just dropped. What's the news?
Teddy.
It's Teddy.
You're hearing it here, probably not first, but you're hearing it.
By the way, the Broncos show is live in 15 minutes, so stay tuned because you're going to want to watch this. I guarantee you it's going to be an absolute rager.
Well, yeah, we just kind of blew it, though.
Well, I mean, it's not like the people are going to...
Twitter blew
It's 2022. What is it? 2021.
That's a good question.
All right, MVP. Let's pull it up.
It was just up for like 5 minutes.
All right, Luka. I actually like Luka. I think this is the year Luka wins
too.
MVP. Like, so the odds makers also feel that way. Embiid, like, get a F out of here.
Won't play enough games anyway.
All right,
I'll pull KD's the other guy.
Kevin Durant, you can pull it off. I got it up on my screen now. So Kevin Durant plus 700. It's so weird that they don't have him his odds as a scoring leader, but they have him so high as the MVP because if he's the MVP, he does it with his scoring. Like he's going to average 33 a game and just murder everyone, which he might do. Giannis would be kind of funny if they run it back. Like Giannis took 1 year off of winning the MVP.
There could be an overcompensation voter of like, we were too hard on him. Now it's time to reward him.
Steph almost won it last year, and then this year they'll have a better team, but I don't know.
I mean, he didn't really almost. He did get a first place vote from.
Yeah, he almost won it.
Ramona.
As in, like, if they weren't the 8 seed, if they would have won a few more games and got up to the 5, like, people were looking for a reason.
I agree with that. Jokic
at plus 15. I can't see him winning it, especially after Giannis won it 2 years in a row, and then everybody groaned about it. I just can't see Jokic winning it. I don't know what he could possibly do that would win it. They'd have to be a 1 seed this year, or 1 or 2.
He'd have to have like the best offensive season from a center ever, which, by the way, he maybe already just did. So,
but even then, man, like he's at the point now where, I don't know. I just fair or not, people aren't going to give it to him. LeBron at plus 1,500 again. We're going to get the ESPN pieces about like nobody thought LeBron could still be good. Everybody said he was bad, but turns out he's not.
Yeah, I did. I said he's bad.
Yeah.
This is the Luka year, though. I would put a lot on Luka.
Yeah, it's the Luka year. We got Trae Young. Trae's an interesting one. I guess if the Hawks somehow become a top 3 seed, I just don't see it. The 3 teams out east seem pretty set. Booker is funny. Harden's kind of funny. Anthony Davis is pretty funny. But again, Anthony Davis has an entire media arm just fighting for him, so maybe. All right, let's go to the NBA champion. The NBA champion favorites. It's got to be those
New Orleans Pelicans.
it's 2 underdogs, guys. The Nets and Lakers. That's at 220. It is interesting, though. One thing I will say I take from this, you've got 2 teams that are clearly head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of the betting favorites. You got the Lakers and the Nets. After that, kind of a crapshoot. Everybody just kind of puts like, who's the 3rd best team? I don't know. Maybe the Bucks because by default. Because they just won it, but then the Warriors are next, like Suns, Jazz.
The Clippers, Nuggets get
Warriors.
that.
Warriors are sneaky.
The Clippers Nuggets get bunched together as could mess around and do it, but missing an important player. We have no idea what to do with them.
Yeah.
Slap a plus 22 on there.
Oh, totally slap. Yeah. The same with the Clippers. It's 2 teams fighting with injury. Like, We don't know how to guess how good they'll be when they get their players back.
However, from the Clippers and Nuggets fan base perspective, depending on how optimistic you are about comebacks, plus 2,200 kind of juicy.
I don't love it, but, it is one of those ones maybe you throw a couple units
small
on,
amount,
and then,
yeah.
if the Nuggets by Christmas
You're
or
buying your
January are
boys
good, you got a
beers.
little buyout.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
little buyout there if you want it, or you just keep letting it ride. I do like that they have better odds than the Mavs, Heat, and Hawks. I would have been very frustrated. I'm not necessarily frustrated about anybody that's ahead of them. Those teams are healthier than Denver right now, so what can you say?
It's also, the odds are not. It's a little different than how they think it's going to shake out, too. You have to factor in that they're trying to entice voters and fish people and all that. So,
well, this was fun, guys. I think I see a bunch of people here watching the video, over 100. Throw us the like button, because what did we do for you? We gave you guys we gave you highlights of Game 5. That alone.
You gotta like that.
I'm not going to lie, man. Watching that really did. That was that picked me up. That was great.
I know, and then we just got thrown back down. We were picked up with the memories of one calendar year ago when all was right in the universe.
That is
except
true.
for the actual, all the rest of the universe.
The universe was actually pretty shitty actually a year ago.
And then we were reminded of the marketing machine that is the NBA and these awards. I'm taken right back down to the dirt. Still give us that like, though.
Yeah, there you go. Give us that like. I hope we earned it. Thanks, everybody. Tomorrow, Win back in studio.
oh, baby.
All righty, we'll see everybody then.
Let fuck.